Welcome back to Billboard. Now, for those of you who have been following the progress of the City Gallery, you'll know that technology is certainly going to play an enormous part in the gallery, both in terms of getting around as well as communicating with other people and bringing good ideas together. So with this in mind, I'm very pleased to be joined now by Ronnie Kelly from the Robert McDougall. How are you, Ronnie?
Good, thanks, Donna.
Now, of course, you're hugely involved in putting the technology together for the new gallery. What are some of the key elements that are really going to be exciting?
Well, there's a technical guide that we discussed before, but one of the things that we're exploring at the moment is the possibility of using video conferencing technology to sort of hold lectures and other events that involve, say, key artists or speakers from overseas. So
this will actually mean that a bright individual from London could give a lecture to a seated audience here in Christchurch. Yeah,
that's right, yeah. About 4 years ago, I actually attended a conference up in Auckland that was organised by Museums Aotearoa, and they had Peter Greenaway was scheduled to speak at the conference, and he didn't turn up, and they arranged a video conferencing session with Peter Greenaway, and actually I was really surprised at how good that was. Because in some ways it was sort of larger than life. You know, you had a big screen there and it was interactive, so the audience could ask questions of Peter Greenaway, and it was actually probably more interesting as an event than if Peter Greenaway had been there in person.
Wonderful. I'm just going to have to apologise, Ronnie. For those of you at home, you can hear banging. We've got a construction site next door, and I think they're getting pretty close to home at the moment, so just bear with us. We're not actually tearing the building down or anything. So, Ronnie, talking about that interaction between the audience and the speaker, so for you, that was actually quite seamless with Peter?
It was. I mean, there's a very slight delay, because, of course, that signal's coming from the other side of the world. But now, of course, there are other possibilities. I mean, 4 years ago, the technology has moved along enormously since then, and there's a potential of developing the internet as a communications tool as well.
So how can that work?
How can it work? Well, at the moment, the simplest way to do it is still using telephone lines, basically. And for example, we've got local companies who have studio setups where people can go in and they can video conference with somebody in a similar studio setup elsewhere. The idea that we have is that we would set up our new auditorium in the new gallery so that it could receive or send signals basically all the time via the internet. So if we wanted someone to lecture from overseas, all they have to do is go to an agency over there that has a video conferencing facility, and we've got a live link.
And so to reciprocate from that, a lecturer could be actually at the Robert McDougall Gallery and able to send their signal out somewhere else.
That's right. And one of the ideas we've been exploring is whether we can link up with other institutions in New Zealand as well, so that if we had a speaker that we could sort of syndicate it through them, so somebody could be in, an audience could be in Te Papa watching somebody speak to an audience in the McDougall. And interacting with them, and possibly even have them interact as well if they had a live link as well.
It's amazing to think that it's becoming that simple to actually listen to a great speaker who can be literally anywhere.
Well, it's possibly the only way you could get some really prominent artists to sort of speak to an audience in the new gallery, because bringing them over would be, well, be hugely expensive, but also often time is a premium for international artists.
How important is sharing knowledge and lectures going to be for the new City Gallery?
I think in terms of the new gallery having a place in an international community, it offers an opportunity for people to sort of feel that there is that linkage between institutions overseas as well, because that networking of institutions is beginning to happen quite naturally through the internet. But I think actively seeking ways to link with other institutions overseas is the next logical step, so that you have not only a link through your internet site, but that you could have video linkages as well, and you could have lectures sort of crossing over international boundaries as well as showing within a New Zealand network.
So you could actually be running those lectures live on the internet as well as beaming them directly to other institutions?
Yeah, you could. I mean, there have been some very interesting experiments done via the internet. For example, there's an artist, Stellark, who recently hooked himself up to the internet, and people could visit the website, and he had little electrodes connected to his skin, so that when they were activated, they'd activate muscles, so people could actually control his movements over the internet. So it's really becoming quite a sophisticated tool.
We'd be looking forward to seeing the next all-out operation, for example, happening on the big screen at the Robert McDougall.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's another story altogether, is our plans for the website, because one of the things we'd like to do is actually host a sort of virtual gallery, if you like, not a virtual gallery in the sense that you can go to a space where you can see paintings, but that artists who are using the internet as a medium can actually do something in that web gallery.
So it can actually become a different exhibitionary space altogether.
Yeah, that's right. The internet's offering sort of a whole range of new possibilities, really.
Fantastic. Ronnie Kelly, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning. I could go on all day about this kind of stuff. It's so interesting. It's going to be wonderful to see the new gallery go up in the O3, but in the meantime, you're just going to have to stay tuned with me and we'll keep you up to date on what's going to be new and exciting in there. Now, speaking of new and exciting, of course, let's check out today's Community Diary and see what's happening in town. So if there's something I need to know about here at Billboard, please let me know here at CTV Studios. Send the details to PO Box 1100 or give me a call or send me a fax on those numbers, as always, up on screen. You were listening to On Noble. The band was Tortoise. If you didn't recognise it, that's okay, because we'll always let you know. And I dare say that album is available from all good record stores, as they say. Have a fantastic day. Take care. Slip, slop, slap. It's definitely going to be a hot one. And I'll be back tomorrow with more things going on in your town.